Shalom. I'd like to give praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Baratat. I also like to give praises to GMS camp, to the elders, Elder Tahar in New York, and to the camps in New York as well. All the GMS camps that are in New York, and all the affiliated GMS camps were spread out across the US, to the Chicago boys, to the Texas boys, should I say men, to the California men, to all the Hebrew Israelites who know who they are and have accepted this truth all across the US, to the camps in Trinidad, the soldier out there with his two little young boys, to the camps in Jamaica, and also to the camps in the UK, the Dagenham boys and the boys in South London, and for all of those that have taken on this truth wholeheartedly. Give praise. Shalom. Today's lesson, we're going to focus on the beginning of the covenant and the promise and the passage that it took for us to get there, how it all started, where it all began from. We're going to focus basically on so that we can identify salvation is only for the Hebrew Israelites. It doesn't matter what people think. What the Bible tells you is that salvation is for one nation alone. Now, even if I myself wasn't an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, even if I was an outsider to this whole thing, and I was to look on this Bible and read this Bible in its entirety, I would see as clear as day, as horrible it may be for you other nations, as clear as day, that tells you that this thing, this Bible, this salvation, Yahweh B'Mshin Yahweh Shai, is coming to save his people and his people alone. So we're going to start this in Genesis chapter 12 verse 1 to 3. So just to let you know, we are using King James 1611 edition, and so is this, the King James 1611 edition. One has the Apocrypha in it, which is this one in my left hand, and the right hand doesn't have the Apocrypha in it. Okay? So we're not using no New Version Bibles, no New Collins Bibles, no Jehovah Witness Bibles. We're using the Bible that the Most High gave to his prophets to read. So we're going to start in Genesis chapter 12 verse 1 to 3. Now the Lord had said unto Abraham, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. So this is the Lord talking to Abraham, telling him to leave his father's house. Because at that point, even Abraham's father had a few idols in his house that he used to worship. But Abraham, his son, he knew, always believed in this monotheism of this one God. Always had that faith that there was this one creator. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee. And I will make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and I will curse them that curses thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So this is where it kind of all started, where Abraham first had his first encounter with the Lord, the Lord spoke to him and told him to leave his father's house, because I have got greater things for you. Now we're going to move on to Genesis chapter 17 verse 19 to 21. So that's Genesis chapter 17 verse 19 to 21. We're going to start at verse 19 anyway. And as for Ishmael, now this is one of Abraham's sons. Remember, Abraham had 8 sons, but these were the 2 main ones, Ishmael and Isaac. Now we're talking to Ishmael. Ishmael is the progenitor for the Arabs that we know of as today, or the mixed Arabs that you see today, but he is a progenitor of those people. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee, behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful. So he said he will make the Arabs fruitful, and Ishmael is going to be fruitful. They're going to live in a fruitful land, which they do today. They've got oil everywhere. They've got oil coming out their ears. And will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant, listen to this is verse 21, Genesis chapter 17 verse 21. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. So Isaac wasn't even born yet. Ishmael was already born, running around, his dad's son, big son, firstborn. But Ishmael was from the handmaid, remember. Isaac was from Sarah, an Israelite. Okay? Now, the Most High says to him, my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. So what that's telling you is that as much as the Most High had great things for Ishmael and promised his father that your son is going to have a great nation, he's going to have 12 princes, we're going to be blessed, they're going to live in a blessed land, so forth. But his covenant and his promise is saying it's not going to be with this first child, it's going to be with this one that's coming up later through your Israelite wife Sarah. And his name is Isaac. So for all those that keep on going on about Ishmael got the blessing was for Ishmael, Ishmael had the 12 tribes because he had 12 sons as well. All of that is stated clearly in here, in the Bible. That the Most High said he will bless Ishmael, he will make him fruitful, he will multiply exceedingly, and he shall beget sons, and he will make him a great nation, which he did become. The Arabs, they became a great nation, they held great lands, as you see today. They are probably one of the richest set of people in the world with all the resources that they have. But yet still, the Most High said, for all that they're going to have and give them, he's not going to set his covenant with them. His covenant is going to be with Isaac. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next scripture. Genesis chapter 25, verse 5. We're going to start, probably up to verse 7. So let's find Genesis chapter 25, verse 5. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. This is Abraham, Isaac's father. But unto the sons of the concubines, Ishmael's mother, and Isaac's and Abraham's other 6 boys, he had 8 sons, which Abraham had, Abraham gave them gifts, and sent them away from Isaac his son. So he flourished them with gifts and blessings and so forth, but he sent them away from his son who we know is going to get the blessing and covenant from the Lord. So he sent them away with gifts, while he yet lived eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life which he lived, 115 years. So it's 175 years Abraham lived for. Okay, Genesis chapter 25, verse 28 to 34. Now this, we're going to go into a bit of now Esau and Jacob a bit. So you just have to get a bit of understanding of what's going on here. Because now Abraham's sons have all gone away, Isaac is born, and now Isaac is going to meet his wife and have his children, for this covenant and this blessing to be passed on to one of his sons. So just to give you a little understanding of who Isaac is and what children he had. So we're going to go to Genesis chapter 25, verse 28 to 34. Okay. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob because they had twins. Isaac and Rebekah. I mean, as a matter of fact, let me just quickly go back and just so you can understand that Isaac had twins, so that you know how we got to this stage here, which the mother favoured Jacob and the father favoured Esau. And Isaac entreated to the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. This is verse 21 in chapter 25. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, and the man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in the tent. Now at the moment I'm not going to go into the two different nations of Esau and Jacob, because today's lesson is basically regarding on who the Israelites are. On another day we're going to speak about who Esau is and who he is today. But today we're just going to focus on who salvation is for, who the Israelites are, who the promise was given to, who the covenant was given to, and was it ever broken? Did the Most High ever say he's no longer going to make Israel his firstborn? Is he going to give it to another nation or another set of people? This is what we're going to be covering today, so you can understand who the Lord, holy people are on this earth today and before time. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Verse 29, and Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. He came in, he was hungry from hunting, been out there a couple of days, didn't catch anything, came into his brother and he said, look, that pot of food looks off the hook. But Jacob said, you know what, it's not ready yet, but that's what I can do for you. Anyway, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. So Jacob said to Esau, sell me your birthright for this pot of food. If you're that hungry, let me see how hungry you really are. Sell me your birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? This is to say Esau had never truly had faith in the Lord, because if he did, he would have never sold his birthright. But even going before that, this was meant to be. Things were meant to pan out like this. So, as much as he may have tried to fight this, he would have done what he did, because it's in his nature. He wants what's in front of him. That's what he wants, Esau. And what was in front of him was a pot of food, whereas his birthright meant nothing to him, whereas to the Lord it was a great thing. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore to him unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and a pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So Esau despised his birthright. For reasons I can tell you, we'll go into that later on when we identify who Esau is on another day. Because he despised it. Being different from Jacob and his family and the rest of the nation, it wasn't for him. Anyway, we're going to move on. Genesis chapter 27, verse 26. So we've got Genesis chapter 27, verse 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. Now we're going into the part now where Isaac's going to give the blessing to Jacob and not to Esau. Remember, Esau's already sold his brother's birthright. So what Isaac needs now, all Jacob needs now, sorry, is the blessing from his father Isaac to fulfill and to complete this process. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his remnant and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of the heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of the corn and wine. So this is Isaac now giving his son his blessing. That was Isaac giving Esau his blessing. Now Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn, I have done according to as thou hast badest me arise. I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said to Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. Because Isaac thought it was Esau, but it was Jacob masquerading as Esau to get his father's blessing. But this was all in the Most High's plan. This wasn't as if to say, even though Jacob supplanted Isaac, it was meant to be like that. Because the blessing was always meant to go to Jacob. How this was going to happen was according to the Lord's plan. The Lord's plan, it was going to happen like this, where Jacob was going to supplant Esau to get the blessing.